bit of character, but Emilio making it all the way to the last phase was something we potentially predicted for TT to just take in their first phase of red side. It's kind of strange, RA on blue able to get so many of these powerful picks, but at least Yao going to try and counter out the Draven Emilio with the threat of those hooks able to come through.
Absolutely, and I think that was kind of
going the complete opposite direction, going for the scaling now.
Here we go.
Here.
That's a double grab at him, and that's going to mean Feather's trying to flash away, seeing if he can keep himself going, but a flashback in on top of him. He's still ticking up and going far. He hasn't gone down just yet. He needs another auto attack. Finally gets taken out. Beishuan with the kill. That's first blood, but I don't think he's going to be able to get out of this because Strife is here. They're waiting for Lian as well. Beishuan coming in, going to get hit by the charm. Confirmed by Strife. Asum probably not too upset about that because he doesn't have a lot of strikes.
But Beishuan's still nowhere even close.
I mean, this is kind of a bit risky here by Hoya because...
Yeah, they're going to go in. We're going to see now if they can give it over to Assume.
Yeah, there's the exhaust immediately going down. The Cyclone there. They're trying to give it over to the Draven. They're tanking up, and there's the stacks. They will trade it back, though, 1 for 1, but I feel like you're still pretty...
But, yeah, I guess this just goes to show of TT not really having a game plan, right? Could have tried to set up the cross map.
9 times out of 10, you're usually giving up the dragon just because you're trying to say, look, our waves aren't in a good state. We're going to lose too much on the map. And then they still lose bot lane turret. The rotations are still very... And for TT, they're looking like they're kind of getting a bit impatient, a little bit more desperate as they're trying to make this work. But I don't know if they can. They're going to be a... Oh, my God, they got the charm off the backside. And another load of stacks go to Asum. I mean, it admittedly looks really, really good. So if you are in Australia... I don't really know exactly where he lives, but if you are in Australia, you know, hit him up. And, it's still a profit, you know.
Yeah. So we need TT to somehow get into that mindset. And
I like this. They're overloading to make sure they can get it. But I mean, it just kind of sums up this game right now. Side Lian gets himself back over the wall. They are going to put in the Whirling Death for a little bit of damage. Hoya is in a flank position, but Yao kind of not in a great spot right now, and he will be assassinated. They will have the Spirit Rush available now. How do you fight this? Your engage was kind of the Blitzcrank hook, and that's it. Hoya in no man's land, and they're just going to have to give this one up. They're going to have to try and just make sure they don't lose anything else because the Baron is spawned.
A few minutes of the hangs. Yeah, oh, we're not.
No. Well, we're probably going to get it anyway. Nope, never mind. It was a bait and switch. They thought it was bot lane, but it was actually up towards top. And now it's bot lane. Xiaoshu with getting the solo bolo. RA incomplete. Honestly, just a little lackluster to say the least. And now they're going to try and burst out Beishuan as well. They will not get the fire kick off, but they will get the Baron. They will get his flash, and it will force him all.
JDG. Now, I guess the question comes into today. It's like, you know, can RA, I guess, have his...
22 minutes into this game, 8,000 gold lead. It's growing up to a 9,000 gold lead. It's...
he must have a few more, right? He must.
I mean,
but that is definitely the only one that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I'll check IMDb, and way, Asum gets himself another few stacks. Not quite sure how many he had. I don't think it's gotta start banning some of these things that like were left open. Like, look at the side of RA, Cassante, Wukong, Ari, Milio. Like, sure, the Draven's not that meta. You could maybe, you know, kind of argue that, but this was just such a huge amount of power picks to be giving over. And I'm not a big fan of draft diff because I don't feel like games can be won and lost in draft, but this just feels like the ease of execution for RA, which just gotta hand it to them.
The problem is, I don't even really know what bans they could change. Like, at least this game, they were on red. They had to ban Nico and Vi. I guess they could have changed the Renekton, but they could have taken Cassante Emilio.
They could have taken Cassante Emilio, but they do kill off the Draven. Finally, the hook does land, but it ends up being traded back a little bit. We are going to see the Steadfast Presence keep stride. Fairly honest in this game, and now Xiaoshu has to be very careful. It's still decent damage from this Aphelios, and TT now kind of coming back into this one, trying to make this one work, but I mean, it's still a Cassante, and that means he's still doing unholy amounts of damage. Hoya will turn around and take him out. I mean, you get a decent fight here for TT, but the base is in shambles.
It's coming out from 1xN to be able to flash it and get that one, but like you said, Cassante's just an absolute menace. Finding that 1v1 kill in the backline on the AD carry. Doesn't manage to get away to end it. They don't really have like great sieging power, so they are going to need a Baron, which is why they're looking for this now. They just got to make sure that that Beishuan ult doesn't end up hitting Luyan out of the pit, and that Hoya can keep biding his time.
Oh, they were going to go in, but unfortunately for Beishuan, cannot get himself out. We will see Hoya getting knocked back as well to make sure he has nowhere to go and will be taken out on the backside of this one here. While this is all happening, Super Minions flooding into that bot side, dotting their I's, crossing their T's, and securing game number 1 here in this best of 3. I don't know if I have extreme faith in 1XN. He's going to go forward. Oh, my God! Holy moly! I should have believed! What the hell was that? That was absurd!
The big Inferno Moonlight Vigil, the timing could not have been better. I don't know if it'll be enough to save the game for TT, but it's going to buy them even more time once again.
Oh,
what is that
my God. Don't know what I'm going to do.
Surely not, right? Surely not.
Oh, they missed the ultimate there, and that means Yao Yao dies straight off the bat. To see Leyen jumping in on the backside to try and take down 1XN. Leyen will keep himself alive, and there is exactly what you wanted to see. The Cassante jumping onto the Aphelios. It took a little bit. It was definitely a lot rockier than they probably wanted it to be. But RA will pick up the win, and look, after everything, I'm just glad we got that massive Infernum ultimate.
Or engage when there's no way you're going to be able to contend with TT. I think in longer, drawn-out skirmishes later on in the game makes sense, and I do expect the original pick you wanted to go through, Ashin.
Or do we get the re-updated Rel? So, getting more hard engage. I actually don't mind this at all. I think that anything that can kind of follow up with things coming in from Feather. Seeing if we can maybe get something on the Hoya, who does have his flash and his hop, so it'll be difficult to really get much else out of this one here. Yep, there's the flash coming in. Must not have had the hop back on top of it, but you just didn't need to walk backwards. There was no need for that Hoya. And she'd be on either top laner. Not challenged right now. It's just say that we're going to see them go straight in on top of Beishuan. Now Asum can start to get excited. They need to turn back onto the dragon and finish that particular objective off. But again, we're seeing RA and Asum getting himself another plate. They may go for a dive here. 1XN is very low.
Oh, they're going to be able to find it.
There's the cleanse, the flash, but now he's got nowhere else to be. He's going to get cycloned out, you would imagine, and bonked onto the head. Leyen, though, will sacrifice his life. And honestly, if they trade this back 2-for-1, there's a huge win for TT. Decent damage coming out from the Asum Jinx, but not to be anything more than just his death delayed against you. And now we're going to see potentially Xiaoshu just kind of taking this turret. Does pop down his ultimate to try and jump on the Hoya, who will go into Mega. Recognizes, maybe I don't want to go for this fight, and that means mid lane is exposed as well. TT fully committed to that
to play with, and you know get another wave in while also counter jungling. RA seriously just looks so much like the better team in the series.
Yep, and Hoya's dead. We will see Leyen getting a fair bit of damage back on top of him. The ignite is good. Beishuan cannot stop UCal from getting anything off of him. Aston is just pushing in mid lane. They're trying so hard, but it's just not sticking.
Side weak to overload somewhere else to try to punish you, but even that not working to its fullest. Maybe it will now.
It might. We're gonna see a TP coming in. He drops down the traps probably a little bit too early, and Asum is dead. That's yeah, you know what, don't go for Raptors. You probably should have reset. You probably should have confident roaming around the map, knowing that they've got basically no pressure from mid lane here from TT because of those 2 towers they're able to take when TT decided to try and trade the dragon.
I do gotta say that I think RA is what shows even more that I don't know if RA can really just sit on their laurels for the next 10 minutes waiting for, you know, the next 2 Drakes to come up and allow UCal this rush.
So they should not walk into here and get caught.
I think especially now, Gale Force even being finished as well. Gonna give a lot of mobility to play with is Hoya.
Oh, he's getting 1v1. The flash, the auto, bonk on the head. Xiaoshu has his, because there's no way they can get an engage. This is so difficult now for the side of TT to defend.
This is a 4v4 for now. Jack's still not here.
Now they're going to get the double knock up here. They're going to try and burn him down, but Strive over the wall finds the Nautilus to trade back here. But there's only so much this Emperor can divide. 1XN, I can only believe in you so much, my friend, and that is RA blowing open this game.
RA, once again, we'll give kudos to Xiaoshu for having the killer instinct, kind of like his very first kill, right? Where Hoya tried to throw the boom?
Yeah, I was going to say
go
what
on.
actually happens there is the Nautilus ultimate knocks him up, and then as the hammer is coming down, and speaking of a hammer coming down, imagine if Xiaoshu had a real weapon, because he is solo bowling everyone around this map. Beishuan looking for a fight, immediately has to flash away. Top lane's under threat. Bot lane's under threat, mid lane's under threat. That map is not safe right now for TT. And RA looking like a clean 2-0 for them on the day.
Yeah, RA are coming in so dominant, even despite the hit. Xiaoshu's just going to keep going. Man, I am so happy that Xiaoshu came into the league and we get like another like alpha dominant top laner in the league.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, RA now starting to feel so confident. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Picture in picture. Bonk, bonk, bonk. It is just how it works right now. No one can step to him. A flash away as Hoya will go down again. TP coming in here from the Janks. The Jack's going to continue on the bonking. They're going to try and kill off Asum. They will, but a triple kill for him. And that is it. RA stamping down a real marker to say, hey, playoffs is still in our sights.
Exactly. RA now are going to make their way up to 4 series wins. They'll be tied with EDG, Ultra Prime, FPX, this whole big like curmudgeon of teams that are still looking for that spot. And now, Ashin, do you believe in Yao Yao?
I do not believe in Yao Yao. It's not what I said. This
one
I'm a little bit more confident in. But RA with the 2-0. Fantastic to see from them. And this is why I was excited for this roster coming into the split. I will say, I will call myself out and say that I was excited with the addition of Mole, maybe over Strive. But Strive has come leaps and bounds compared to where he was in spring. And this whole top side map.